Maxie girl, would you like to start the vlog? What do you think? Oh, okay. Not to be left out. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Katie Wismer. I'm an author and an editor. I have 7 books out currently. Today we're gonna do a vlog. It's about 11:30. I was actually live on my second channel this morning. Hopefully going to be a regular thing that I start doing. At least I'm going to try. So I'll have the link down below if you want to watch the replay of the first one. If you want to join us for our next Monday morning coffee chat, I will be live there 8 a.m. Pacific time, Monday mornings. Come hang out with us. They're not like the work from home with me sprints that I usually do. It was literally like have morning coffee together, we chatted, we talked. I picked some of the giveaway winners. I'm doing some giveaways as well. If you missed the video explaining all of that, I'll have that link down below as well. So we've reached the milestones needed to do a giveaway 3 times so far. So we did randomized numbers. We did all of this during the live to pick which books were going to be given away and then who got them. So if you want to enter to win one of the future giveaways, the form is down below. Check out that video for more of an explanation. I'm mainly just working on client work today. I'm starting a new copy edit. I'm gonna try and wrap up manuscript evaluation, if not today, just like this week. I recently got back some feedback from my developmental editor for Broken Perfect Lies, so I want to get back to her with some follow-up questions. And then I'm also trying to wrap up this draft of Bloodless Ties so I can go to my critique partner at the end of the month. So that's kind of everything that's in the works at the moment. This video is also being sponsored by Dossier. Dossier is a fragrance company that makes more affordable options for your favorite luxury and designer scents. All of their perfumes are about $30 or $40, whereas the perfumes that they were inspired by are oftentimes $100 or $200. It's a great deal. They're vegan, they're cruelty-free, they use recycled materials with their packaging. They donate all of their returns to charity. So basically, I love the company all around. I have a ton of their different perfumes and I've liked every scent that I've tried. I tend to pick one scent and I associate it with a book that I'm working on, so I only wear it when I'm working on that book, which I really enjoy doing. It's like a little writing ritual. I also have several scents that I'm allowed to use when I'm not working on my books that day. So one of my like everyday scents is their Floral Rose. I also really like the Floral Lavender one, just for like an everyday thing. My Bloodless Ties scent is their Floriental Cedarwood, and then my Broken Perfect Lies scent is their Fruity Brown Sugar. If you're interested in checking them out, I'll have a link down below in my description, and that should get you some money off as well. Highly recommend checking them out. I have been so pleased with every single one of their perfumes that I've tried. Without further ado, let's get back into the rest of the vlog. I want to show you some new stuff that I've gotten. So I found this little crystal shop near me on my walk yesterday, and I picked up this little elephant. I think he is so cute. He's been hanging out with me on my desk, but like how pretty is he? He's opalite. And then I also got a ton of art prints. I have them underneath these books to try and flatten them out because they were rolled up. So this is the biggest one that I got, and I think it's just stunning. I got this little one, which I also think is super pretty, obviously. And then this one, it's a lot less colorful, but I actually really like the yellow. So I ordered frames for these. I'm waiting on those, then I'm gonna hang those up. Also, I'm so excited because I had a goal for my pre-orders with Bloodless Ties. The thing about pre-orders is I actually don't know how many people have pre-ordered a book until after it comes out. Because like paperback pre-orders and stuff, I can't see, like Ingram Spark doesn't give you that information until after the book releases. So I have no idea how many people have pre-ordered the paperback. But I can see how many people pre-order the ebook on Amazon. And so with my first couple of books, I didn't do pre-orders for anything other than the ebook. So I had a ton of ebook pre-orders for like the Anti-Virginity Pact. But then as I got into later books and I started having like paperbacks and stuff available, my number of pre-orders for the ebook has been less than the Anti-Virginity Pact every single time, even though that was my first book. And even though I've sold way more copies of books after that, pre-orders wise, the Anti-Virginity Pact, my first novel, was the one that had the most pre-orders. So with Bloodless Ties, my goal was just like, I want to have more pre-orders for this book than the Anti-Virginity Pact, finally. And it's past it. So just like a small like weirdly me thing. It was like satisfying that finally another book outsold the first one in terms of ebook pre-orders. It's very like specific, but I was very excited to see that. So thank you so much if you're someone who's pre-ordered Bloodless Ties. Anyway, we're gonna get back to work. I actually think I'm gonna get my little like laptop desk that I usually use in bed and put it on my desk to make my laptop taller, so So it's like a standing desk, so we can stand up while we work for a little while. Went for a walk this morning. It was great. Had my live this morning. It was great. We're off to an excellent start. I hate sitting at my desk all day while I work and just feeling like I'm sitting down all the time. So my two biggest hacks for this right now. When I'm working on client work, it's a little bit harder when I'm working on other stuff. If I'm doing a manuscript evaluation, I can't do this with copy edits. But for manuscript evaluations, Microsoft Word has this accessibility option where it will read it aloud to you. It's in like a robot voice, but whatever. So I put in my headphones and I have it read it to me while I like pace and just like get up and move around. I might stretch or something. I can pause it if I need to come over and write down a note or write down some comments, or I'll just carry my phone with me and I'll write my notes in the notepad on my phone and transfer them over later. So that's really helpful, just like to do the initial read through of the manuscript evaluation. Lets me get up and move around. And then when I'm starting to draft the edit letter for the manuscript evaluation, I use the same dictating app, Otter, that I use for dictating my books. And I'll just kind of talk through all of my thoughts and my notes aloud, transfer it over to my computer, and then organize the thoughts and clean it up into like the actual edit letter. So I'm working on a manuscript evaluation right now, so I'm up and moving around while I'm working on it. And it's so much nicer than just like sitting at my desk all day. Life-changing. Okay, so it's the next day. I actually don't know where we left off. I kind of forgot. So it's around the same time we started yesterday, actually. It's a little afternoon. I already got my workout in, got ready for the day. I've been working a little bit on client work. We're gonna dive back into that this afternoon. So that's the focus. I was mainly working on my manuscript evaluation yesterday, and I was up and moving around a lot with that, so that's kind of why I wasn't vlogging. Now I'm gonna be sitting here for a while and working on my copy edit. But we got some questions through Instagram, so I thought I would answer some. Will you be doing a special edition for the anti-virginity pact? I don't have any plans to do any other stuff with the pact books right now or anytime soon. I'm just really focusing on, you know, new releases, new books that I'm writing and stuff. So at this time, I don't have any plans for like a special edition or anything. Is 28 too late to switch career? I feel embarrassed because I'm still figuring things out. Absolutely not. No, I think you should switch. I think you should go for it, 100%. Not a doubt in my mind that you should go for it. I don't think it's ever too late to switch, and 28 might feel old to you, it might feel late to you, but think about like proportionally how much time you have left. You can either waste that sticking in whatever you're doing right now that you're not happy with because you feel like, oh, I've already like dedicated so much time to this, or you can spend the rest of that time doing what you want and not having any more regrets about not ever trying it. So I think you should go for it. Favorite crepe? Anything sweet. I'm not a super savory person. I have the worst sweet tooth in the world. I always have. I blame it on my mother for like exclusively eating donuts when she was pregnant with me. Maybe that was me making her crave sugar. There's a crepe place near me and I really like their apple pie one. I got a couple of questions kind of about like marketing and TikTok and stuff. I've been getting a lot of stuff like that lately. So I'm actually planning on making a deep dive video as one of our self-publishing 101 videos over on my Patreon page about TikTok, where I'm gonna do tutorials on how I make some of my more common like kinds of videos, how I come up with my hooks, and we'll like brainstorm together and I will like take you through a deep dive of all of that. Stay tuned for that one. I'm excited about it. I think it'll be a fun video. What has been the hardest decision you've had to make about self-publishing? Was it leaving your job or something? I don't know if there's been like one single hardest. I think the biggest like leap of faith that I took was when I decided to go full-time with this. Luckily, but even that didn't really feel like a leap of faith because I did it so gradually. Like I started with like, I don't know, 5 jobs, got rid of one, got rid of one, got rid of one. So it was like a slowly over time built my way up to this. I think maybe it was like the initial decision that I was gonna go all in with self-publishing instead of traditional publishing. That's a really big decision for anyone who's interested in publishing to make. And it's not like you're stuck in one path or the other if you make the decision, but 2 very, very different paths. So that in and of itself was a big decision to make. Thoughts on continuing Monday morning chats? I think we were talking about that earlier in this vlog. I'm planning on being over on my vlog channel every Monday, 8 a.m. Pacific time, if you want to come chat. Any luck finding a male voice actor for Read? So the auditions I was just like naturally getting in from ACX I wasn't super thrilled with, so I started like actually searching and reaching out to specific narrators and being like, I think you'd be good for this, will you send me an audition? And almost all of them have gotten back to me and sent me in auditions, which I'm really happy with. But then I feel bad that like I sought them out and I made them audition and then I don't like them. So there's one that I'm really hopeful about, and he said he would record the audition either yesterday or today. So I'm hoping I'll get it today or tomorrow. And I'm really, really hopeful for him. So no, I haven't found him yet, but I feel like we're getting closer. Any tips for when you want to write but aren't feeling creative, especially in the revision stage? If you're feeling burnt out, I think you're better off taking a break, doing something that fills your creative well. Go get out in nature, go outside, just like go do something completely different, go exercise or something, move your body. If you're just like, I don't feel creative, but you're not like burnt out, depending on what part of the revision process you're in. I was literally experiencing this the other day. I wanted to edit Bloodless Ties, but I just like couldn't handle any of those like big scale revisions. So one thing I do later in the process is I always go through and I cut crutch words from my manuscript. It's usually a last step thing, but I was like, I feel like that's all I can handle today. So I just spent like an hour doing that. So I felt like I made progress in the book, even though I wasn't doing what I would usually do. So if there's like a part of the process that you feel like is manageable for whatever headspace you're in, I would go with that, even if it's different than what you originally planned. Okay, last question, and then I'm gonna get back to work. Could you explain your first draft process a little more? You say your first draft is shorter than final. I don't really have a process. It's more of like dumping everything into a document just to get the story down. So it tends to be shorter than later drafts just because I like very, very loosely outline my stories. I know like the major plot points. I have some scenes in mind. I know a couple of the twists. Like I have like a very vague idea, but a lot of the in-between stuff I don't know yet, and I'm figuring it out as I go. So a lot of the times I don't even know what major chapters and major scenes are going to be until after I've written the rough draft and I've kind of figured out, oh, there's like a missing piece. I could put something right there, I could put something right there. So my first drafts tend to be short because I don't know everything yet. I'm telling myself this story the first time, and I think it's a Neil Gaiman quote. It's like, write all of your ideas onto paper for the first draft, and then the second draft, it's when you go back and try and make it look like you knew what you were doing the whole time. And I definitely agree with that. Well, getting back to copy editing. Oh, also we hit another milestone for another giveaway. I think it was, yeah, the anti-relationship year hit another milestone. I liked drawing the giveaway people on the live on Monday, so maybe that's what I'll do, is like every Monday during those lives I'll see how many more milestones we hit and choose the giveaway winners on those days. So that's my plan as of right now. It's like an hour later. The audition that I said I was waiting for just came in. I think I'm like overthinking this. It was hard enough finding a voice for Valerie because, you know, like I have a way that the characters sound in my head. So I feel like I'm getting like caught up on like, this is good, but it's not exactly like the way that I picture for Reed. But I also am like, am I ever gonna find that? Am I ever gonna find someone who is like, it's like when you have actors cast in a movie, they're never gonna look exactly like how you pictured in your head. So I'll think on it. I'm not gonna make any rash decisions, but I think we may have found him. This guy is gonna be expensive, but he's an award-winning narrator. He's like one of the Audible approved narrators, so I know he'll do a good job. And I'm so grateful that we reached the goal for the Kickstarter for this audiobook, so I'm like not as worried about how much he costs as I would have been in the past. So I also did not do any of the work that I said I was gonna do. I copy edited like 2 pages and then I got distracted again because I'm trying to book some flights and like figure out logistics of something, so that just always takes more time than you think it's going to. We got more questions, and a lot of these questions are like, I could go on and on and on about them, so I've been kind of like picking and choosing ones that aren't going to take me an hour to answer. Do you think an author can be successful and 100% anonymous with a pen name? Absolutely, 100%. Lots of people do it. Doesn't mean it's gonna be easy, but you can definitely do it. How do you stay on top of your YouTube videos? Planning? How long does it take you to edit them? I don't. I'm glad that it looks like I'm on top of it from your side. I'm not. There's a reason why, like sometimes I'll post 3 in a week, or I'll post 1 and then 2 weeks will go by and I'll post another. I actually used to be way more consistent back in like college and around those summers and stuff. That's when I used to be the best about it. Now, honestly, I've taken the pressure off of myself and I just post whenever I have a video. So the only like structure I have or like deadlines I have are sponsored videos. Those are the only ones that have to be up by like specific dates. Otherwise, I just make them when I want to make them. How long does it take you to edit them? It totally depends on the video. It depends on how long it is. I honestly don't like time them. I don't really notice how long it takes, so I'm not really sure. At least twice as long as the video ends up being, probably more like 3 or 4 times as long as however long the video ends up being. But a lot of times, like with vlogs, I'll edit them as I go. So I'll like film some clips and then I'll edit them and then I'll film some clips. So it doesn't like feel like a big chunk of editing at the end. And I don't mind editing. I'll usually stretch it over like multiple sessions. I don't like to sit and just like edit a video all the way through in one sitting. We changed locations for no reason other than I thought it would be more interesting to watch if you had a change of scenery. Also, this jacket does not go with my outfit at all. It was just cold and it was nearby, so I guess that doesn't like clash that bad. I can never tell if my hair turned out well or I actually hate it. Have you discovered any new bands that you'd recommend? Actually, quite the opposite. I've literally just been on this like rabbit hole going back and listening to all of my old favorite bands from like high school and getting back into them. Not that I ever like stopped listening to them, but I've been like going through and listening to everything they've ever put out again. And it's just so sentimental, and those songs, it's like such like a hit of like adrenaline or dopamine or something, because I have so many like memories associated with them. So I've really been enjoying listening to like old favorites. To name a few: Parachute, The Main, This Century, the band Camino, Every Avenue, Laney, Barcelona, Matchbox 20, like old Avril Lavigne, The Cab, Artist versus Poet, We the Kings, Boys Like Girls, all of that kind of stuff. It's all like the same kind of genre. If you know, you know. I recently made a new playlist on my Spotify called Bad Day, Not Anymore, and it's mainly just like throwbacks like that if you want to listen to it. What were the struggles, finances, and marketing did you face becoming an author? I think if you've been around on my channel like since I started publishing, you've kind of like seen them come up as they've happened. So let me see if I can like think of a short way to summarize this. I kind of like slowly worked my way up to being full-time, and I was working like other jobs, so I don't know if I ever like struggled. That's not to say like it was like easy and it happened all immediately. It's just like I always had backup sources of income, so if like the money wasn't coming in from the books necessarily, like I wasn't stressed about it because it was coming in from other places. With that said though, like it took some time for me to start making like actual good money on my books. I was making back the money that I invested into them pretty much right away, which was like my baseline. That was like how I determined if a book was a success, was if it made back the money I invested in it at the beginning. Which is a great benchmark, by the way. If you're just getting started and you're like, that's all I make, that's fantastic. So at the beginning, I wasn't like making a profit with the books, or not like super significantly. So it definitely took some time, and after publishing lots of books and building up a backlist before I started making like good money from the books. For a while it was just like, am I going to be able to pay off everything that I did with my editor, my cover and stuff? If so, then I'm happy. And marketing also is challenging when you only have a few books out, and it's a lot of trial and error. So yeah, with my first like 4 books, they sold well enough, earned the money back that I put into them, but I hadn't really gotten into TikTok yet. I hadn't really found my groove with marketing. So 4 books is to me, I look back and like, that feels so long ago, but when I think about like, that was years of my life that I wasn't selling a lot, and it just, I didn't really realize it. So I guess like struggles that I faced becoming an author, or if you're kind of like at that beginning stage and you're wondering what you could expect, was just that it took time for me to gain momentum and to build up my backlist and to start seeing the results that I see now. Now I have 7 books out. I've been publishing since 2018. It's 2022 right now, so it's been about 4 years, and things look very drastically different now than they did back then. So if you're still in like those early stages and you're like, this isn't what I want, don't lose hope. Things can change a lot in just like a year. Do you see Dean up there? Maxine's actually up there too. She's just under the covers. Tips to find new readers specifically for KU. Pretty much all I do for that is my TikTok marketing and my Instagram Reels marketing, and I also run some Amazon AMS ads. The hard thing, if any other authors are watching this who do this, if you have some insights, I would love to hear it. My issue with my Amazon ads is I have to kind of like guess how successful they are, because I'm seeing how many impressions they're getting, how many clicks they're getting, and I get to see if there's like an outright sale, like someone buys the ebook or the paperback. But because my books are in Kindle Unlimited, I don't know if the ads are converting into people downloading the book in Kindle Unlimited, because it doesn't tell me that. So I kind of have to guess whether or not they're being successful based on like the clicks and stuff. Even if I'm not seeing those outright sales, I feel like it could still be that people are downloading it in KU and reading it. So if any other KU authors have like tips for navigating AMS ads, I would love to hear your thoughts. Best TikTok tips. That's a little bit of a tongue twister. Best TikTok tips. Quantity over quality, actually. Don't spend a whole lot of time making one TikTok, because it's honestly, it's like playing a slot machine. You never know with TikTok and their algorithm. You're better off just like making a ton of videos, and they should still be good quality, and putting them out there and not putting too much emphasis or too much hope and weight into like a single video doing well. Instead, you put out 100 videos and you hope that one of them picks up and does well. So at least for me with TikTok, I post a shit ton of videos, and the ones that like do fine or well enough are good too. Those bring in new readers too, but you don't need every single video to do well, basically. And so it's easy to get like discouraged when you see your views are low and stuff on videos, but that's pretty normal for most creators on there. Not every single video is going to go viral, not every single video is going to do well, so just keep posting, just keep going. I hope you guys aren't bored. This is turning into like an entire Q&A. I wasn't expecting to get this many questions. What's your process like for editing your poetry collections? I write like a ton of poetry. What you see that ends up in the book isn't even like half of what I've written. So I just write like a ton, and then I kind of narrow it down to which ones I like. I tend to figure out how I want to organize the collection first before I start picking things. I kind of read through all the poetry, I find any common themes, I try to come up with like names for the different parts of the book, so then I can start like organizing poems like, oh, this one can go in part 1, this one can go in part 4. So first I start just by figuring out what poems go in each part, and then I'll organize the poems within that part. Lastly, how are you really doing? I'm doing really well. Having a good day today, having a good couple of days. If I'm filming, it's a good day. I don't film on the bad days. Yeah, I've been doing really well. I was kind of talking about this in my last vlog. I've just been spending a lot of time by myself and just like resting and relaxing and just like listening to my body. And like literally last week, I just needed a lot of rest and I didn't realize it, to the point where I just like spent most of my time in bed for about a week, which kind of sounds like, oh, was like something wrong, or are you sick, or are you sad? No, I just like needed that like deep rest for a while. And so I was like, okay, I'm listening to my body. This is what I need right now. This is what I'm gonna do, and I'll just wait it out, and when I feel ready, I'll get up and get back to being productive. And then I did, and now I feel fine. So I've learned to like stop resisting those tells, because I feel like resisting them just makes it worse. If you need rest, give yourself some rest. If you need a break, give yourself a break. Resisting that, you're just like putting it off, and then I feel like when you finally do take that break, it's gonna be worse. So I don't know if that makes sense. I'm doing well. I'm doing better at listening to myself and not pushing myself so hard. So I think I'm in a better place now with that. Anyway, on that note, we're gonna actually get to work. Instead of just saying I'm gonna get to work. No.